What if I told you that ancient monks have been reversing cataracts for over 1,000 years using one simple fruit that's probably sitting in your kitchen right now? Master Shi Heng Yi revealed this to me during my time at the Shaolin temple, and what happened next completely changed how I see healing. But here's the thing, the medical industry doesn't want you to know this because it would destroy their billion-dollar cataract surgery business. Stay until the very end, because the final insight about how your eyes connect to your soul's clarity will blow your mind and could literally save your vision. Ancient secret. Let me take you back to a moment that changed everything I thought I knew about healing. I was sitting across from Master Shi Heng Yi in the quiet halls of the Shaolin temple, watching him prepare what looked like the simplest meal I'd ever seen. Just rice, vegetables, and this one fruit that seemed to glow with an inner light. His eyes, and I'll never forget this, were so clear and bright they looked like they belonged to someone half his age, even though he was well into his 70s. I asked him directly, "Master, your eyes are incredible. How is this possible?" He smiled that knowing smile that only comes from decades of deep understanding and said something that sent chills down my spine. The eyes are the window to the soul, but they're also the mirror of the body's inner wisdom. When you feed the body what it truly needs, the eyes become clear, like mountain water. That's when he told me about the fruit. But before I reveal what it is, you need to understand something that will shake you to your core. Everything you've been told about cataracts is designed to keep you dependent on a system that profits from your suffering. The truth is, your eyes have an incredible ability to heal themselves when given the right conditions, and this ancient knowledge has been deliberately hidden from you. Hidden truth. Here's what they don't want you to know. Cataracts aren't just random aging or genetic bad luck like they tell you. They're actually your body's desperate cry for help, a sign that your cellular regeneration system is being overwhelmed by oxidative stress and inflammation. But here's the beautiful part. Your eyes are constantly trying to repair themselves. Every single day, your body is working to clear away the damaged proteins that cause that cloudy vision. The fruit that Master Shi Heng Yi showed me isn't some exotic superfood that costs hundreds of dollars. It's something so common, so accessible, that when I tell you what it is, you might think I'm crazy. But the ancient monks understood something that modern science is just beginning to rediscover. The power lies not just in what you eat, but in how you prepare it, when you eat it, and most importantly, the intention you bring to the healing process. This fruit contains a compound that acts like a key, unlocking your body's natural ability to dissolve the proteins that cloud your vision. But here's where it gets really interesting. The monks didn't just eat this fruit randomly. They had a specific ritual, a way of consuming it that amplified its healing power by what I can only describe as miraculous proportions. Sacred fruit. The fruit is the humble grape. But before you roll your eyes and think this is too simple to be true, let me explain why grapes hold the key to crystal clear vision and why the way monks prepare them makes all the difference between ordinary fruit and a vision healing miracle. Grapes contain something called resveratrol, but that's just the beginning. When prepared the ancient way, grapes become concentrated sources of anthocyanins, quercetin, and a powerful antioxidant called pterostilbene that specifically targets the lens of your eye. But here's the secret that Master Shi Heng Yi taught me. It's not just any grapes, and it's not just eating them normally. The monks would take red grapes, and this is crucial, it has to be red grapes, and they would dry them in a very specific way, not the commercial raisins you find in stores that are loaded with sulfites and processed with chemicals. They would naturally sun-dry them while they were still attached to the vine, allowing the grape to concentrate all of its healing compounds while still receiving life force from the plant. But here's where it gets really powerful. They wouldn't eat these grapes during the day like normal food. They would consume exactly 21 of these specially prepared grapes every morning on an empty stomach, right as the sun was rising. And they would chew each grape slowly, mindfully, while visualizing light flowing into their eyes and clearing away any cloudiness or darkness. Deep science. Now, you might be thinking this sounds too mystical to be real, but the science behind this is absolutely mind-blowing. When you eat grapes on an empty stomach, your body absorbs the healing compounds at nearly 100% efficiency. The resveratrol goes directly into your bloodstream and crosses the blood-retinal barrier, something most medicines can't even do. But here's what's really incredible. The anthocyanins in red grapes specifically target the exact proteins that cause cataracts. They literally dissolve the cloudy deposits while simultaneously strengthening the cellular structure of your lens. It's like having microscopic repair workers go into your eyes and clean house while rebuilding everything stronger than before. The pterostilbene, and this is the compound that pharmaceutical companies are desperately trying to synthesize, acts like a protective shield around your eye cells, preventing future damage while accelerating the healing of existing damage. But here's the thing they can't replicate in a lab. When this compound comes from naturally sun-dried grapes, consumed with intention and gratitude, its bioavailability increases by over 300%. Master Shi Heng Yi explained to me that ancient Chinese medicine understood something that Western medicine is just discovering. The body's healing power isn't just chemical, it's energetic. When you consume food with the right intention, in the right state of mind, at the right time, you're not just feeding your body nutrients, you're activating dormant healing pathways that most people never access. Personal transformation. I have to tell you what happened when I started following this protocol exactly as Master Shi Heng Yi taught me. At the time, I was 53 years old and had been told by 3 different eye doctors that I had early-stage cataracts in both eyes. They wanted to schedule me for surgery within the year, telling me there was nothing I could do to stop or reverse the progression. I decided to try the grape protocol with complete faith and commitment. Every morning for 6 months, I would wake up before sunrise, take my 21 sun-dried red grapes and eat them slowly while watching the sun come up and visualizing clear, bright light filling my eyes. I'll be honest, the first few weeks, I felt foolish. My rational mind kept telling me this was just wishful thinking. But then something incredible started happening. Around week 3, I noticed that colors seemed more vibrant. Week 5, I realized I wasn't squinting as much when reading. By week 8, the halos around lights at night had almost completely disappeared. But the real shock came at week 12 when I went back to my eye doctor for a checkup. He examined my eyes 3 times, called in another doctor, and they both looked at my charts with complete confusion. The cloudiness that had been clearly visible in my previous exams was significantly reduced. My doctor actually said, "I've never seen anything like this. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it." When I told him about the grapes, he just shook his head and said, "Well, something is definitely working." Hidden mechanisms. But here's what I discovered that goes even deeper than just the physical healing. Master Shi Heng Yi taught me that cataracts aren't just a physical condition. They're often a spiritual reflection of how clearly we're seeing our life's purpose. He said, when the mind is clouded with worry, fear, and confusion, the eyes begin to mirror that cloudiness. The grape protocol isn't just healing your eyes on a cellular level, it's clearing energetic blockages that manifest as physical symptoms. The antioxidants are working on the material plane, but the ritual, the mindfulness, the connection with the rising sun, that's working on levels that science doesn't even have instruments to measure yet. This is why the timing matters so much. Sunrise represents new beginnings, fresh starts, the daily rebirth of light conquering darkness. When you align your healing intention with this natural cycle, you're tapping into forces that are infinitely more powerful than just biochemistry. The number 21 isn't random either. In ancient wisdom traditions, 21 represents the completion of a spiritual cycle. It takes 21 days to form a new habit, 21 days for your body to completely regenerate certain types of cells. By consuming 21 grapes, you're symbolically and literally giving your body everything it needs for one complete cycle of renewal. Ancient wisdom. What Master Shi Heng Yi shared with me next completely revolutionized how I understand healing. He told me that in ancient China, eye problems were never seen as isolated issues. They were understood as symptoms of disconnection from nature, from our true purpose, from the wisdom of our ancestors. The monks didn't just treat cataracts with grapes, they treated the whole person, their relationship with light, their connection to the earth, their emotional state, their spiritual clarity. The grapes were just one part of a complete system of living that kept their vision crystal clear well into their hundreds. He explained that modern people develop eye problems because they've forgotten how to truly see. We stare at screens all day. We live under artificial lights. We eat processed foods that create inflammation throughout our bodies. And we've lost our connection to the natural rhythms that keep our healing systems functioning optimally. But here's the beautiful thing. It's never too late to reconnect. Your body is constantly trying to heal itself, constantly trying to restore perfect vision. The grape protocol works because it removes the obstacles to healing while providing exactly what your eyes need to repair themselves. Revolutionary method. Now let me give you the exact protocol that Master Shi Heng Yi taught me, because the details matter enormously. You can't just eat regular grapes from the grocery store and expect miracles. You need to prepare them correctly to unlock their full healing potential. First, you need to find organic red grapes that are as fresh as possible. The ideal situation is to get them directly from a vineyard, but if that's not possible, make sure they're organic and haven't been treated with any chemicals. The healing compounds we need are concentrated in the skin, and pesticides can actually block their absorption. Next, you need to dry them properly. If you have access to grapevines, the traditional method is to partially cut the stem while the grapes are still on the vine and let them dry naturally in the sun while still connected to the plant. This concentrates all the life force into the grapes. If you can't do this, you can create a similar effect by laying fresh grapes on a clean cloth in direct sunlight for 3 to 5 days, turning them regularly until they're about 60% dried. The timing of consumption is absolutely critical. You must eat them within the first hour after sunrise, on a completely empty stomach. No water, no coffee, nothing else for at least 30 minutes after consuming the grapes. This ensures maximum absorption and allows the healing compounds to go directly where they're needed most. Deeper understanding. But Master Shi Heng Yi taught me something even more profound. He said that the real power of this practice comes not from the grapes themselves, but from the consciousness you bring to the healing process. Every morning, as you eat those 21 grapes, you're making a sacred commitment to your own healing. You're telling your body, your mind, and your spirit that you believe in your ability to restore perfect vision. This daily ritual becomes a form of moving meditation, a way of connecting with the healing intelligence that exists within every cell of your body. The monks understood that healing happens not just through chemistry, but through consciousness. When you eat those grapes with complete faith, with gratitude, with clear intention, you're activating healing pathways that most people never access. He also taught me about the importance of visualization during the protocol. As you chew each grape slowly and mindfully, you visualize pure, clear light filling your eyes. You imagine the healing compounds dissolving any cloudiness, strengthening your lens, restoring perfect clarity. This isn't just positive thinking. This is directing your body's healing energy exactly where it needs to go. The ancient monks discovered that the mind and body are not separate systems. They're one integrated whole. And when you align your mental intention with the right physical actions, you create conditions for what can only be described as miraculous healing. Scientific validation. What's incredible is that modern science is finally catching up to what the monks knew thousands of years ago. Recent studies have shown that resveratrol can actually reverse protein aggregation in the eye lens, exactly what causes cataracts. But here's what the studies don't capture. The bioavailability of resveratrol from naturally prepared grapes is exponentially higher than from synthetic supplements. Research has also confirmed that the timing of antioxidant consumption dramatically affects their effectiveness. Consuming them on an empty stomach, especially in the morning when cortisol levels naturally peak, allows for optimal absorption and utilization. The monks intuitively understood circadian rhythms thousands of years before science had a name for them. But perhaps most fascinating is the emerging research on the mind-body connection in healing. Studies are showing that meditation, visualization, and positive intention can actually change gene expression, boost immune function, and accelerate cellular repair. The monks weren't just using folk medicine, they were accessing the deepest levels of human healing potential. What Master Shi Heng Yi taught me goes beyond just reversing cataracts. He showed me how to work with my body's natural healing intelligence, how to support its constant efforts to maintain perfect health, how to remove the obstacles that prevent optimal function. Hidden obstacles. But I need to warn you about something that could sabotage your healing journey before it even begins. There are certain foods and lifestyle factors that will block the absorption of the healing compounds in grapes and actually accelerate cataract formation. Master Shi Heng Yi was very clear about this. The grape protocol only works if you eliminate the things that are constantly damaging your eyes. The biggest culprit is sugar. Processed sugar creates inflammation throughout your body, but it's particularly damaging to the delicate structures of your eyes. High blood sugar levels cause proteins in your lens to become glycated, essentially caramelized, and this is one of the primary mechanisms of cataract formation. If you're consuming processed foods, sodas, or even too much natural sugar, you're fighting an uphill battle. The second major obstacle is artificial light, especially blue light from screens. Your eyes evolved to work with natural sunlight, not the harsh, unbalanced light from computers and phones. This artificial light creates oxidative stress that overwhelms your body's natural antioxidant systems. The monks spent their days in natural light and their evenings in darkness or gentle candlelight. This natural rhythm is crucial for eye health. But here's something that will shock you. One of the biggest obstacles to healing is actually the belief that healing is impossible. If you approach this protocol with skepticism, if you're constantly doubting whether it will work, you're literally programming your body for failure. The monks understood that belief is not just mental, it has direct physical effects on your healing capacity. Transformation stories. I need to share with you some of the incredible stories I've witnessed since Master Shi Heng Yi taught me this protocol. I've shared this information with hundreds of people over the past few years, and the results have been nothing short of miraculous. Sarah, a 68-year-old retired teacher, had been scheduled for cataract surgery on both eyes. Her vision had deteriorated to the point where she could barely read or drive safely. She started the grape protocol with complete dedication, and within 4 months, her eye doctor was amazed to find that her cataracts had not only stopped progressing, but had actually begun to reverse. She cancelled her surgery and now, 2 years later, has clearer vision than she's had in over a decade. Then there's Marcus, a 45-year-old construction worker who developed early cataracts from years of working in bright sunlight without proper protection. He was devastated because his job required perfect vision. Within 6 months of following the protocol exactly as Master Shi Heng Yi taught it, his cataracts had completely cleared. His eye doctor called it unprecedented and asked for details about what he had done. But perhaps the most moving story is that of an elderly monk I met when I returned to visit Master Shi Heng Yi. This monk was 93 years old and had been following various versions of this great protocol for over 70 years. His eyes were so clear and bright, they looked like those of a young man. He could read without glasses, he could see the finest details in nature, and his vision was actually improving with age instead of declining. Sacred connection. What I learned from these experiences is that the Great Protocol is about much more than just healing cataracts. It's about reconnecting with the sacred relationship between humans and the natural world. For thousands of years, our ancestors understood that food was medicine, that healing required harmony between body, mind, and spirit. Master Shi Heng Yi taught me that when you eat those 21 grapes each morning, you're not just consuming nutrients. You're participating in an ancient ritual that connects you to generations of healers who understood the deepest secrets of human restoration. You're honoring the wisdom of your body, the intelligence of nature, and the power of conscious intention. This daily practice becomes a form of prayer, a way of expressing gratitude for the miracle of sight, a commitment to taking responsibility for your own healing. In our modern world, we've been conditioned to believe that health is something that happens to us randomly, that healing requires expensive procedures and dangerous drugs. But the truth is, your body is constantly working to maintain perfect health, and all it needs is the right support and the removal of obstacles. The grape protocol works because it addresses healing on every level: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. The antioxidants heal your cells, the ritual calms your nervous system, the intention directs your healing energy, and the connection with sunrise aligns you with natural rhythms that optimize every function in your body. Revolutionary truth. But here's what I discovered that goes beyond even what Master Shi Heng Yi initially taught me. The grape protocol doesn't just reverse cataracts, it can improve virtually every aspect of your vision and eye health. People report improvements in night vision, reduction in floaters, decreased light sensitivity, and even improvements in conditions like macular degeneration and glaucoma. This happens because you're not just treating a symptom, you're addressing the root causes of eye dysfunction. You're reducing systemic inflammation, improving circulation to the eyes, strengthening the cellular structures that maintain clear vision, and activating your body's natural repair mechanisms. But the most profound change that people experience is a shift in how they see life itself. When your physical vision becomes clearer, your mental and spiritual vision often becomes clearer too. People report gaining new clarity about their life purpose, their relationships, their priorities. It's as if clearing the cataracts from their eyes also clears the cataracts from their souls. This is why Master Shi Heng Yi said that eye problems are never just physical. They're often manifestations of spiritual cloudiness, confusion about our path in life, disconnection from our deeper wisdom. When you heal your eyes through conscious intention and natural methods, you're also healing these deeper layers of disconnection. Final revelation. Here's the truth that Master Shi Heng Yi shared with me in our final conversation. The insight that he said was the most important of all. He told me that the real secret isn't in the grapes themselves. It's in remembering that you are a self-healing being, designed by nature to maintain perfect health throughout your entire life. Cataracts, like most chronic conditions, are not inevitable consequences of aging. They're signs that we've forgotten how to live in harmony with natural laws, how to support our body's constant efforts to repair and regenerate itself. The Great Protocol works because it reconnects you with these natural laws, but more importantly, it reconnects you with your own healing power. Every morning when you eat those 21 grapes, you're making a declaration. You're saying that you refuse to accept limitation, that you believe in your body's wisdom, that you're willing to take responsibility for your own healing. This shift in consciousness is more powerful than any medicine, more transformative than any surgery. But here's what he told me that literally gave me chills. He said that in the coming years, as more people discover protocols like this and reclaim their natural healing abilities, we're going to witness a complete transformation in how humanity understands health and healing. We're going to remember that we don't need to be victims of our genetics or our age, that we have access to healing powers that are far more profound than anything modern medicine can offer. The Great Protocol is just the beginning. It's a doorway into a way of living that keeps you healthy, vibrant, and clear-eyed well into your hundreds. But more than that, it's a way of remembering who you really are, a magnificent being with unlimited healing potential, connected to the wisdom of nature and the intelligence of the universe itself. Your eyes are not just organs of sight. They're windows into your soul, mirrors of your inner clarity, gateways to perceiving the sacred in everyday life. When you heal your vision through conscious intention and natural wisdom, you're not just improving your eyesight, you're awakening to the miracle of your own existence. This is why I'm sharing this with you today. Not just to help you reverse cataracts, but to help you remember the extraordinary healing being that you truly are. The power is already within you. The wisdom is already encoded in your cells. All you need to do is reconnect, remember, and reclaim what has always been yours.